Today, I'd like to talk about forgiveness. Some people think that forgiveness is a weakness and it allows a person who has done an injustice against them to get away with it. Some people think that forgiveness is a powerful tool. Today, I'm going to discuss the difference between forgiveness being a weakness and forgiveness being powerful. There are many people, and many of you have been offended in many ways. And this offense has caused us to react emotionally. And some people hold and have harbored hate and resentment toward the offender. Now, the offender has really gotten away because the offender does not know that you hate them and that you resent them. But over time, we create an emotional connection to the person that we are resenting. And that emotional connection becomes a bridge, an energetic bridge that connects you with the person that has done the offense to you. Now, as we begin to harbor these dark emotions of resentment and hate, and we feed each other through this emotional connection or this emotional or energetic bridge, it keeps you connected to the one who has offended you. Now, over time, you will keep feeling the flow of energy that is negative. It flows back and it flows forward from that one that has offended you to yourself. You will feel each other. It's an invisible energy field that keeps you locked in with that individual. Now, to not forgive that individual can cause you a lot of internal pain and suffering. And many times people are not aware of the suffering that their enemies are allowing you to go through because they know that you hate them. And they know that hate eats a person up from the inside out because it is in you. So people who would like to become the masters of themselves understand that forgiveness is a very powerful tool to free yourself and to uproot dark energy that can manifest over time into a physical disease. A physical disease that someone has offended you is playing a major role in. And every time you think about that individual, you fertilize that dis-ease in your body. It is not a weakness to forgive. It is a masterful tool to forgive. I myself personally have had people who have offended me deeply, and I've held that resentment and that anger over time. And I've had people that were considered religious leaders or other people who just wanted to be a part of my situation. They would immediately say, "Oh, girl, just let it go. Just let it go." Just letting it go is one of the weakest tools that a human can use when it comes to forgiveness. You can't just let it go. They need to give you a strategy on how to let it go. These feelings that we harbor for people who have offended us, they gain a root in us like a tree. And it's constantly fed and fertilized by feelings. When we see that person, it is being fertilized. When we hear the person's name, we fertilize that root. And that root grows bigger and bigger and bigger in us until the medical society will have to medicate it out of you or cut it out of you in the form of a disease. Now, what strategies can a person use to uproot these feelings? Because you can say oh, I forgive that person many times. And you may believe that you have forgiven that person, and your intention may be to forgive that person, but when you think about the person over time, you thought you may have forgotten about the offense, but when you think about the person and the sting is still in you, you have not fully or thoroughly forgiven or released that person. There are many tools that mankind can use to uproot those roots and let it go. And it is about forgiveness, because forgiveness can free you from an emotional prison. And that's what it is all about for the individual who wants to become the master of themselves. To be a master of yourself, you must be free. And as long as you harbor that dark energy, that hate, and that resentment, over time, you're in a prison, imprisoned by your enemy. It's very difficult to let it go. But we must have tools and understand that there are tools available. There are spiritual tools available to help us. We can use decrees and other strategies. Some people use prayers. But the most effective thing to use is a tool that is good for that individual. We must constantly work on uprooting the root of the feelings that we have been harbored. People can use decrees, they can use prayers, they can use affirmations, or they can use proclamations. But there are certain tools and affirmations and prayers that have been infused with powerful energy that can assist one on this journey of forgiveness. Because forgiveness causes one to become more powerful. The lack of forgiveness causes weakness in the body. We have to make a deliberate and intentional choice over our own well-being. Simply because we forgive does not mean that we should forget. But we must uproot those feelings of hate and resentment and forgive, so that we can be free and that our bodies can be whole and free of disease. I ran across a very powerful prayer, and it is infused with powerful, dynamic spiritual energy. And if you will allow, I'm going to read this prayer, because this prayer has helped me and it has helped other people over time. This prayer is a powerful prayer. And if you repeat this prayer, you can free yourself and others who have not forgiven you. There are prayers that we need, and proclamations and affirmations that will help free us, because we will never be able to just let it go. It's not easy. It takes a deliberate and a concerted effort, and every aspect of your being must be involved in forgiving, because harboring dark energy is held in every aspect of your being. It is held in your mind, your body, and your soul. You want to be free so that your mind, body, and soul will be in a harmonious state where you can become a powerful being. I'm going to read this particular prayer of forgiveness right now. You can speak it yourself with me. By and through the power of God the Creator, I know and decree that all that has seemingly offended me or held me, I now forgive and release. Within and without, I forgive and release. Things past, things present, and all things future, I forgive and release. I forgive and release everything and everyone everywhere who can possibly need forgiveness or release. This includes forgiveness for myself. Through the power of God, the Creator, I forgive and I release absolutely everyone and everything, past, present, and future. And everything and everyone from my past, present, and future that could possibly need to forgive and release me, including myself, does so now. This is done now by and through the power of God, the Creator, the God in me and the God within us all. I am free, and all others concerned are now free also. Therefore, all things are completely cleared up amongst us now and forevermore. This is so now and forever under grace, in God's own wise and perfect ways. Thank you, God. And so it is. Using prayers and affirmations that are infused with spiritual energy are powerful, and they affect every aspect of our being. Today, I forgive because I am the master of myself.